Going on, everybody? It's been a while. It's probably been 4 months or so since we worked on the RatBird. There's a lot has happened. As you can see, I got my own place. That took a long time to move everything out of my parents' place, out of Isaac's place. And then people just started giving me stuff. It was miserable. But not a whole lot's changed. Tonight we're going to work on the brakes. I found the manual for the line lock right there, and we're gonna work on that because, well, I installed it and started doing brakes and I couldn't find it, and then after moving everything, I fucking found it. I already ordered another one because I needed the manual to get this one in, and it's going to be here tomorrow. So it's kind of like, what? Oh my god! If it ain't one thing, it's another, you know. But yeah, we're gonna do some brakes. The main goal is to plumb up that line lock and the front brakes. I'm not gonna worry about the rear because, one, the axle that's in there is not the one that's going to be there, and there's still a bunch of welding to do underneath the car. But that's what we're gonna do tonight, and I'll just keep you updated. My camera died, lost the charger when moving, so yeah, that's what we're doing. That. Never have brakes, never. And as you can see, we're here at the master and the booster and all that. There is the line lock. So I got that top piece, or that top one right there. Sorry, my hands are full. That bottom one going to the inlets on top. And see that side one there just to the right of the two copper lines? That's an outlet. There's one on the other side too. So currently I have a piece of wire that's gonna help me figure out how long the distance is to our stainless brake line. I'm sorry, excuse me. And I just kind of bent it to what I think it's gonna need, and then I keep my finger on it, and I straighten it out, cut it out of there, flare one side. Make sure to add these little things or all your hard work means nothing. And I mean that. And the one on the back right there that's kind of tucked, that one right there on the outside, that one goes to the rear. I'm not worried about that yet, like I said, because the rear end in this thing's not going to be the one I want. So just a little tip for you. Get some tie wire. You can get it anywhere. It's cheap. Use it. All right, so let's run this down real quick. So out of the distributor block, we have front and front, and both of those go into the top right here. These are your inlets. And on the right there is an outlet, same on the other side. The short one goes to driver's side right there, and the next one goes along the brace up to that one. Hey guys, it's the next day. I got set up here pretty good. So I built some sawhorses. I got the sheet metal from Isaac's. The welder set up with a garage sale extension cord with a new breaker in the breaker box. So we should be good on everything. Now we get to welding. Last time you guys seen me do this, it was literally just pretty boring, I think. There ain't much going on. I'm just welding in the holes for the rear firewall. I want to get that done, clean it up, wire wheel the rust off, and then paint it with some 415 so when put down some insulation and carpet. Yes, we are doing carpet. I know it's a race car, but come on, gotta have a little class. But yeah, I'm gonna do all that. Not a whole lot. There's a little bit in the trunk I need to do too. Show you that later if we get to it tonight. I don't know. And yeah, that's about it. There ain't much to it. You saw me do it a little bit before. I'm just gonna. All right, guys, check it out. It is seam sealed. That stuff works pretty good. It's just stuff you got on Amazon. Polyurethane adhesive seam sealer by Birkland. You see that? It's just I forget. It's like 20 bucks maybe for 2 tubes, and it comes with black gloves. What else? Come with everything really. It's pretty simple. There's a tab on the back that you have to break off because there's this little moisture ball in there. Yeah, it comes with these little things, junk, but they work. And you put the top on after piercing the seal up top here, and boom, good to go. Brake cleaner works pretty good to get it off your hands because the gloves aren't good. Just get some better gloves and you'll be fine. But I'm gonna go eat, let that dry for about 30 minutes, and then we're gonna do some painting with some Pour 15 from right there all the way up. Let that sumbitch dry, and we'll be good. Okay, guys, got her sealed and paint's in there. Now, the one thing about Pour 15 that everyone says about that sucks is that if you don't seal it really good, then there's going to be a top layer of it that hardens. And that's what this is, because I didn't seal it very good last time, and it's just Pour 15 rust converter. Now I don't have any plastic or anything left over from when I did the sealing to seal it up with, so I just used some aluminum foil. That may help, that might not, I don't know. But as long as I can still use it, I think we'll be fine. Now, I used Pour 15 because there was a bunch of rust spots, mostly on the bottom end of the floor, but I just painted the whole thing with it. Now, Pour 15 does not stick very good to paint. It sticks really, really good to rust, like really good. It goes on real thick. It's really nice, but it just doesn't like paint very well on paint. You got to scratch it all off and set it outside to rust if you want it to stick real good. But like I said before, carpet's going in, so it doesn't really matter. Now that that's all done, I'm going to let it dry for a little bit first because it most likely is leaking. Yeah. So it's kind of leaking. I also sealed the back here on a few spots with the same seal, just for a little bit more protection, I guess. But I do need to weld that back seam. You can see where I started, and along the sides. I don't really feel like doing that. This is such a small space. I could barely fit in there and move, let alone have a welding hood on top of that. So I'm just gonna let it dry for a bit, see what it looks like. What's going on, guys? Another day, 3-day weekend. You know what that means? No, we're not welding. We're doing head work. And by that, I mean we're doing all these right here. These are your water jackets and where your oil goes and all that fun stuff. See that right there? Fingers catching on? All jagged and stuff. That's going to help with keeping the engine cool. Now, when they stamp these or cast these, they don't go through and do that because they're mass produced. And these particular set of heads are the 781 heads. I don't know if I explained this before, I may have. But the heads that came with the 454, they are peanut ports. So the ports, see, are too thin right here to actually port them out and be fairly efficient. Same for the other side. Mostly the other side, the intake, I believe. But anyway, yeah, so you can't really port them out too good. And by that, I mean, where is it? Hold on. Your intake gasket. It's upside down, so it's confusing me. Hold on. There we go. See that right there? There's a little lip. So you can port them to match the gasket, and then you would port your intake to match that. And they actually prove that it makes more flow and more power. You just gotta get it, take your time, get real detailed about it, smooth it out, make it really smooth, and it'll run great. That's what we're gonna start to do. But first, before we do that, I wanna get the chunk like this shit here. And then I have two kinds of layout fluid. I got this stuff that's paint on, and then somewhere, there it is, I got a can of it, 11 bucks on Amazon. I thought I was gonna do it at a different time, so I went to town and bought that. Ended up not doing it, obviously. So I got two options. I got blue and red. I'll figure out which one I like the most. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Just kind of go through and just kind of get the shitty stuff, man. Just get all them out of there and good to go. I'm gonna stop talking and do some work. As you can see, that cleaned up pretty good. Now that one right there, that's part of the casting. It gets thicker down in there, so that's why it's like that. But as you can see, it felt a lot better. Now the top side here, give you a little better idea. Had to come in and clean up some of those sharp edges on the back side, but really didn't need much. All right, that's the exhaust side. And maybe we mess with a little bit of that too. That can't hurt, right? I mean, look at that. I think we can polish it at least. I'm gonna flip it over, find some bolts, put the gasket on, lay out some dye, I guess. Yeah, here we go. Easy, it's pretty simple. You just lay your gasket down, put a couple bolts in, get a scribe. They're fucking cheap. Now we got some bits. Now really, it's not bad. You can see the line right there. Where it is, it's not bad. It's all to one side a little bit. But it's really not bad. Yep. Yep. Pretty good stuff. All right. As you can see, got those done. Not all the way done, but done. Using these aggressive bits, they work pretty good. They're only 8 bucks. I don't know if you can see that. They're on Amazon. There you go. Now we're going to use these here. They're bullet shaped. They're a lot less aggressive. What that's going to do is that it's going to get rid of all the aggressive shiny, and it should just be a smooth polish. Then once I'm done with that, I got some emery cloth here. All that is basically, this is sandpaper designed for metal. And I'm just going to get in there and, you know, do all the fun stuff. But you kind of see right there where the casting is. Oh yeah, I have to get rid of a bunch of stuff in there too. Can't forget. But that's where the casting is. Trying to smooth that out as much as possible. And just running my finger around here, you can feel all the rust and stuff. But it's smooth. I mean, there's still some little humps right there is, but these here should take care of that. I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. All right, I've been going for a couple hours now. There's that one that's pretty good. Now, this stuff here, I don't know the grit. Doesn't really say, but I did order 600 grit. Similar stuff. It'll be here in a couple days. Because I've been on this for a couple hours and I only got that one done for sure. This one's done, but it's getting rough. Basically what I'm going off of, I did the first one all the way through except for the 600 grit. This one, I did all of it. What I'm trying to get, you see these right here? Hold on. These right here, you hear that? I'm trying to get those out. And they're kind of everywhere. It's just part of the casting. Now, listen here. See how smooth that was? It's catching. I'm trying to get rid of those first. And it seems like if you get this style, this brand, I don't know, like I said, $8. This one, no, this one here. This one, I used it for about like 10-15 minutes. You see how it's shiny? Kind of lost a lot of it. Now, I could use that to clean up these big scratches because it's lesser of a grit now. This one, I used for like an hour, and now it's super aggressive. And that's what got me these scratches here. Now, I got a new one for this one. And if it goes bad, I'm going to go back to this one because it's just more aggressive. Now, these ones here, they're too aggressive. They're from removing a lot of material. So, like this right here, you see that? I'm going to get rid of all of that. I'm going to use the metal ones for that because you just don't need that. But I just wanted to point that out before I forgot. But that's what you're trying to get rid of. You want something similar to that. That's not great. It's not perfect, but it is pretty freaking smooth. I mean, the material coming off of my finger, I can't even feel the grit. Like, it's just so small. This stuff, however, I can feel. Just wanted to point that out to you. Still going. We'll see how it goes. All right, it's been, I don't know how long, but there's that same spot. You can see it. Well, let me get that right. There you go. So if you remember before, you had these crazy spots, and there it is. Got that one little spot right there. See it's catching on that? You can see I got rid of all the other stuff. Hear that? Catching. Smooth. It has been 3 hours of this. Cast iron is tough to do this because the secret is to take your time. Don't use aggressive stuff a lot. Now, I did use the aggressive stuff. I didn't do it on this one here. I'll show you. As you can see there's a lot of pitting and stuff right there. Kind of see where I started to go down it, but I would use the aggressive stuff to get rid of the majority of that. And I would use it very, very lightly and then go in with the bullet, these things. I would go in with these after and use those the majority of the time to make sure that everything is actually like smoothed out and not taking too much material. Now, in my case, I didn't really have to do a whole lot of porting. They're fairly close to the gaskets, but it's the little bits, it's the little stuff that counts. And the reason I'm working on this instead of continuing working on the body of the car is because I got a call from my machine shop, and he said that everything is good to go. He magnafluxed it and bathed it, hot bath, whatever you want to call it, and it's all good. So I should be expecting the block here in about a week. So I want to get this done, send these off to a different machine shop that's a little faster on heads, just to get it cleaned and baked and get it redecked where it counts. Now this stuff is really not bad. I bought this out of Missouri, and the guy said that he bought them for his. He went with aluminum. Sat in a corner of his shop for 15 years. So I really don't think there's a whole lot wrong with this, but just to make sure that everything is still good, I want to get it machined. And And I want to get this done because I am just making a mess everywhere. I mean, just everywhere. So I want to make sure that the porting is done and done enough. Now I don't have to do this, but I wanted to try it out. This is my first time. So one thing that I have figured up that it's kind of a little tip here. So when you're working this section right here, like I showed before, and you're working it just like this, come over here and go over about the same distance here, this way, and come back about halfway. So while you're working these spots, you're not getting a divot right here. You're working this, then you come over here and you get that hump that is created. So you go back and forth and it helps flatten it out. And you do the same on the other side. About halfway up or halfway through the spot you're working, about the same distance. And that'll make it a nice transition. And when you feel like this, sorry, my camera work's not good. With that, you know, then this right here. Just like that. And then if you can feel it this way and it feels bumpy, don't worry about it. It'll come out in time. It's just going to take a while. So on that note, I'm going to bed. See you guys tomorrow. What's going on, guys? It is Halloween of 25. Let me show you what I've been doing. So over here, we got one of the heads. It's covered in WD-40 because I wash it off with the hose because there's a bunch of shit all over it. But I got a lot of it ported. The intake is basically done. I bought these things, and they're supposed to polish up, use WD-40, and I tried it, and it just made a mess, and I didn't even do the exhaust side. So I stopped doing that, did the exhaust. Now I just need to use those on the exhaust side and get it really good. Really, really smooth, as much as possible. And then, got one more to go. Alright, so I forgot to explain why that the exhaust side needs to be polished. So when the exhaust fumes come out of the head and you want as little disturbance as possible, because you want it to be as a smooth transition. Just like on the intake, the first half of the intake needs to be really smooth and polished so it flows from the intake into the intake ports on the head. Then after that, you want it to be a little rough. You don't want it to be smooth all the way down because you want that disturbance, that turbulence to mix the fuel. Well, it's just the opposite on the exhaust side. You don't want that turbulence because you want it to flow out as easy as possible. I forgot to mention that. I just wanted to tell you, since there's no audio to this footage. Anyway, all right, goodbye. All right, this is just a few minutes. See that? A lot shinier. Yeah, it kind of might be. There you go. See how rough that is? Much better. Turns out the best way to clean them, garden hose. I am going to get them sent off to the machine shop, get actually clean, but getting all the shit off of there. You see it? Oh yeah. All that junk. Best way to do it right there. I'm going to finish up here and soak her down in some WD-40.